Hi gang, this is Mike G from Mr. GTV and MrMikeHonor.com, and this is your session 3, mind training meditation, which is all about healing your mind, remembering that meditation, the Latin root, the etymology is to heal the mind, medication to heal the body, and you'll actually find that when you've got a peaceful mind, a balanced mind, and you're using your powerful mind to work for you, your health, your success, and your experience of life will massively improve. So we've already gone through session 1, which is finding 10 minutes of silence, going into the silence by looking at an object, a flame, a flower, an ornament, a spot on the wall, something overhead on the ceiling, staring at it without moving a muscle and just observing thoughts. That was session 1. Session 2 was putting a thought in before you start your 10 minutes of silence, called contemplation. And I asked you to put in something that's possibly reoccurring in your thoughts, that keeps coming up, that's turbulent for you, that's creating some level of dis-ease. So it might be an issue with your boss, your job, your finances, your health, your relationships, something that's going on in your house, property problem with the neighbours, maybe something from the past that keeps coming up for you, maybe stresses, anxieties and apprehensions of the future. But whatever it is, I asked you to create a bullet point. You could say best man speech if you got to make a speech or corporate presentation or a visit to the doctors, or maybe you've got to make a phone call and sort something out about an issue that's challenging you. So it's that phone call, and you just think about that one thing, that phone call, that boss, that presentation, that health issue, that financial challenge, and then you go into the silence and see what comes up. And what this does is it actually creates word associations linked to that thought that you dropped into the ocean of your mind, into the ocean of your consciousness. It's a tiny pebble, but it ripples out, and in the ripples it creates other bullet points, other things that would need your attention. So when you think about maybe asking for a rise or cold calling or picking up the phone to sort something out, what comes up? Is it fear? Is it that you have an expectation of failure? Is it maybe that it's an unknown and you just don't want to change? Is it that in the past somebody's told you that you can't do it, therefore you feel you've got no confidence, you're lacking in confidence? Is it that you don't know the facts, so you feel a bit in the wilderness? And when you put one subject into contemplation and go into silence for 10 minutes, these other issues will ripple out from that stone, that pebble that you threw into the still lake or the sea of consciousness. Once you've actually noted what came up with your bullet point, with your subject that you're contemplating on, just write it down. And then what I want you to ask yourself, having got these things written down, I use pen and paper, but you can do it electronically, is it true? Is it true? Is the thing that's on your mind that keeps coming up, is that relevant to your now situation? Or is this maybe something that you've always said? Have you always said, I'm not confident? Have you always said, I can't do this? Have you always been frightened of this? Because you can change that. You can actually change that. You can take a look at it again in a peaceful state, because you just had 10 minutes in contemplation. So without any trauma, drama, without bringing up any anxiety connected to the analysis of these bullet points that come out of the ripples within the contemplation meditation practice, you're now in a place of stillness, in a place of control and balance, and you're in a far better state to just look at these honestly and say, is that true? Am I lacking in confidence? And maybe you would look at another area of your life where you were confident and think, well, I'm confident fixing the car, or I'm confident baking a cake, or I'm confident at work, So if I use the confidence that I've got at work, talking to the bank manager or talking to my new prospects or talking to my next door neighbour about their noisy kids or whatever it is, you can transfer skills, which would be a really good thing to do. You can settle around that and maybe consider that as an option going forward. The next session will be all about visualization, which is part of meditation. And I'll be getting you to visualize being the person that you want to be in your meditations so that you can use these bullet points positively to shift the person that you are into the person that you want to be. This is called identity shifting. It's a process in itself, and I'm prepared to share it with you for free with me, Mike G, on Mr. GTV. So check back for session 4. Share this, like this. As we go into 2022 or whatever year you're viewing these presentations, you can actually reinvent yourself and become more powerful using your powerful mind. Take care. God bless.